Well, welcome everyone. It's Ralph Monroe here again, and welcome to this program for the Tacoma Highland Games. This is the 2021 Virtual Mini Games brought to you because of that darn pandemic that continues to go on. But next year, we promise you we'll be back on the field in 2022. In the meantime, it's important that you don't forget the pipers and the drummers and the dancing and the clan tents and the fun activities and the real Scottish food and the vendors' booths and the athletic events and the mass bands and fun that we all have fun. I've been attending these games in Tacoma and serving as master of ceremonies for part of this time for nearly 50 years. And I can tell you it's very important that we all stay connected. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this little program and remember to keep the faith. We'll be back. And we'll be back bigger and better than ever. The Tacoma Highland Games, one of my very favorite things to do. And now let's hear from Brian Nelson, who will take us through the program. Brian.
Thank you, Ralph, and welcome everybody to the Tacoma Highland Games Association 2021 Virtual Mini Games. My name is Brian Nelson, and I'll be your host for the day. We have a lot of great content lined up for you today and are thrilled that you've joined us. Without further ado, and to kick off the festivities, please join me in welcoming to the minigame stage the Keith Highlanders. A big thank you to the Keith Highlanders for kicking things off for us. Coming up next, we're going to nod our caps to all the athletes out there. Please join us as we take a look back and enjoy some of the memories from athletic events from Tacoma Games of the past. It was really nice to look back on some photos and memories from athletics events of Tacoma Games past. We've got plenty more coming up today, so stick around for a while. We want to take a moment to remind you all of how important your support of the Tacoma Highland Games is. We can't do it without the strong support of our community. Please consider becoming a member, donating to the organization, or even volunteering. We greatly appreciate your support and participation. Coming up next, we have some of our favorite pipe bands. Please join us for a medley of the pipes. What a great performance! Thank you to the Tacoma Scots and the Olympia Highlanders for entertaining us today. Coming up, we're going to recognize all of our beloved clans out there. Join us as we take a look back and tip our hats to the participating clans of the Tacoma Highland Games of the past.
My family has been coming to the Tacoma Highland Games forever, which means I've been coming since before I can remember. I've danced, watched my nieces dance, watched the caber toss in awe, enjoyed the pipes, and admittedly had a few too many beers in the beer garden. It is and will always be my favorite Scottish event of the year. Simply put, it feels like home. Our family got involved on the board in 2019 when we realized the 50th anniversary was scheduled to be the last Tacoma Games. Luckily, with a little more manpower and the support of the sitting board, the Games could continue into its 51st year. COVID-19 had other plans, so we've canceled and are focusing on a great 2022. With the planned dissolution in 2019 and cancellation of the Games in 2021 and 2022, we are now in need of your financial support more than ever. Please join me in donating to and becoming a member of the Tacoma Highland Games Association. We hope the Tacoma Games will continue for another 50 years and beyond, so future generations can enjoy this wonderful tradition. Thank you very much for your support, and on behalf of the Tacoma Highland Games Association Board, we can't wait to see you in person in 2022.
It really was great to look back at photos of the clans from Tacoma Games. It was a great message and a reminder about how supporting the Highland Games through your membership and donation is so important to keeping the games going. We can't do it without you. Please lend your support today. Up next, we're going to take a moment to honor those who we've recently lost. Join us now for a Flowers of the Forest tribute.
Gerald Gehring, Mary McDonald, Bob Hamilton, Pipe Major Sinclair Bishop, Kathy Kovich, George Hamilton, Don McGruder, Betty McLeod Heggie, Jim Daldry, Lonnie McWilliams Kanui, Matt Etheridge,
A special thank you to Margaret Nelson and Peter Ralstad for that touching tribute. Next up, we have some dancers. Join us as some of our Highland dancers entertain us with a group 4-step fling. Thank you, dancers, for that great group fling. We're clearly going to have some top-notch competition at the 2022 Games. We want to take a moment to remind you all how important your support for the Tacoma Games is. We can't do it without the strong support of our community. Please consider becoming a member, donating to the organization, or even volunteering. We greatly appreciate your support. Up next, we have even more music for you. Please join us now for Celtic music from Banshie Music. Wasn't that great, everybody? A big thank you again to all of our performers today. We feel so lucky and honored to have so many talented participants at this year's virtual mini games. We also feel so grateful that all of you have joined us today. Before I send things over to our Tacoma Highland Games Association Board President, I just want to say thank you again to everybody that tuned in today, and remind you that it's always a great time to extend your generosity and sign up for membership or donate to the Tacoma Highland Games. Your support keeps us going and means so much to us all. Up next, and to help wrap up our 2021 mini games, please welcome Tacoma Highland Games Association Board President Norma Gilfeather Smith.
Thank you for attending the 2021 Virtual Mini Games. I hope you've had a great time so far. We sure do miss our Scottish friends and family. You may already know, or you may be hearing this for the first time, that our Scottish heritage, and in particular the Tacoma Games, hold a special place in my heart. When I was just a toddler, my parents immigrated from Scotland, and while being proud Americans, they were also proud Scots, making sure that my sisters and I understood and remembered and celebrated our Scottish roots. The Tacoma Highland Games became somewhat of our family games, and I've only missed a few since they started. And I actually think my mom's been at every single event. It hit us hard as a family when we heard the 50th year may be the last year for the games, so we decided to get involved, join the board, and do what we could to keep our traditions alive. Little did we know we would be hit with the COVID-19 pandemic. We had to cancel in 2020, and we were hopeful we could hold the 2021 event, but that wasn't in the cards either. There were many factors to consider. We had to comply with state and local COVID response guidelines, the rules and regulations put forth by some of the governing bodies that sanction various events that make up the games. There were health and safety considerations for our competitors, vendors, clans, and guests. And yes, even the dreaded financial considerations to ensure that we could cover ongoing operating expenses, as well as host the 22 games and beyond. I've come to think of our current situation similar to that of the struggles that Highland Games faced when the Act of Prohibition following the Jacobite Rebellion was enacted. The act outlawed Scottish dress, customs, and gatherings for almost 40 years. After proscription was repealed, the games started to revive. Now it's just been 2 years for the Tacoma Highland Games, but it feels like 40, doesn't it? And just like George IV visited Scotland in 1822 and giving a tremendous boost in regaining the national customs of Scotland, the Tacoma Highland Games need your support now more than ever. Get involved, join a committee, volunteer for the 2022 event, become a member or sponsor of the Games. Consider a monetary gift to keep the Tacoma Highland Games that special place in your heart. We're looking forward to seeing you all in 2022, but for now, we're happy that we could bring a wee bit of the games to you. To close out the 2021 Virtual Mini Games, it's my pleasure to introduce the Keith Highlanders.